Time for an April book haul. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got an April book haul for you. We got some books that we have gotten in the month of April, obviously. The last video we put out, I had mentioned that obviously me working the night shifts, there has not been a whole lot of content coming out lately, so we're doing what we can during our vacation time. So there are going to be a couple of videos that we're going to be filming back to back to back. So be ready for some more content coming out soon. But yes, so these are all books that we got in the month of April, whether they were released in April or we just happened to get them in April, whatever they were. We will have them linked down below if we can. Again, don't forget to look at the Instagrams. Don't forget to look at the podcast. We got episodes coming out. We did not do one this past week for Easter, obviously because it was a holiday. We didn't want to do one. But we are going to be doing one this upcoming Monday. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into some books. Alright, the first bunch I have here are the books that are released in the month of April. Some of them we got sent a little early, so they might not be out yet. But first one up is An Honest Lie by Taryn Fisher. I have not read a book by this author before, but the blurb in the back kind of seems intriguing. I'm going to kill her. You better come if you want to save her. So, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Cover looks really nice. But again, I have not read a book by this author before. They have also written The Wives and The Wrong Family, books I have seen in store, obviously. But yes, this is one I have not read, one I intend to possibly get to. But if you know anything about this or anything about this author, let me know, because I'm intrigued to get to it. Next book is The Shadow House by Anna Downs. This is another cool looking cover. I have not read a book by this author, but it looked cool. A house with deadly secrets, a mother who will risk everything to bring them to light. Danielle read The Safe Place. She gave it 4 stars, but otherwise I have not read anything by this author, and I'm intrigued to get to it because, I mean, it just kind of looks like a nice little story here, so get to that one eventually. Next one is The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. I have read The Good Sister by this author, and I believe I gave it 4 stars if I'm not mistaken. So obviously I want to get to this one. It is a domestic suspense about the tangled vines of family secrets. So, and I actually did not know that there was a little bookmark thing in the back of the book, so that's cool. But yeah, no. Like I said, I have read a book by this author, and I cannot wait to get to it. And also that cover just looks really cool. So, next book is The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. So this author has been very good to me so far. I've read 2 other books, The Drowning Kind and The Winter People. The Winter People has by far been the best book that I've read from her. The Drowning Kind was pretty good. I think it got 4 stars, but The Winter People, 5 stars without a doubt. This one, a genre-defying new novel inspired by Mary Shelley's masterpiece Frankenstein that brilliantly explores the eerie mysteries of childhood and the evils perpetrated by the monsters among us. This is another one that does not come out quite yet, but it's going to be coming out soon. Depends on when this video goes up. So, this is going to be a dual timeline, which I just finished the Book of Cold Cases, and that actually got 5 stars for me, so we'll be having that in a recent read soon, so stay tuned for that. But yes, this was a book I'm very excited about because it's an author that I truly admire. So, and the last one that is a more recent release, and that is Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. This is the next book I'm reading. Well, this is the next book I'm going to be reading. This is the author who wrote Behind Her Eyes. I believe I gave it 5 stars. One of the biggest twists that I've heard in a book in a very long time. There's another book called Insomnia that we all know about, Stephen King. This is about like a quarter of the size, so. But cover looks really cool. I don't know a whole lot about it, and I'm honestly fine with that. I'd rather go into this not knowing a whole lot, which is exactly what happened with Behind Her Eyes, and that turned into a gem. So, very excited to get to this. I will be starting this hopefully today, and then when I do, I can put this in a video with Book of Cold Cases and The Raven is Dead, and then you'll be able to hear my thoughts on all those. So, there you have Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. Alright, the next two are two that we found at Half Price Books. It is in a video from that. We'll post that up here if you want to take a look at it. But a cool edition of The Long Walk by Stephen King, Richard Bachman. I actually was going to get this before, but then I decided not to because it had a weird like yellow stain on it, and then I realized I also don't have this edition, so had to get it. My first ever true Stephen King read, and I absolutely loved it. I need to reread it. But yes, very good book. And then the other one we found was Bad People by Jeremy Bates. He was the author of The Sleep Experiment, and I absolutely loved that book. I gave it 5 stars, and it was a book that really took me by surprise. I have a lot more by him, and I honestly need to find more time to read him, because I feel like he could be like a Darcy Coates for me. But I just haven't really given him a fair chance after Sleep Experiment. I really don't know why. So, but yeah, no, there you have Bad People by Jeremy Bates. Alright. We went to another Half Price Books and we found Bethany's Sin by Robert R. McCammon. This is the author of Swan Song, which is kind of like, sort of like an edition of The Stand in a sense, I think. But yeah, this cover looks really sick. I thought it was really cool. So, figured we'd get it and see what this is about. Obviously I need to read Swan Song, because that's a book I definitely need to check out. So next was this cool box set Danielle found of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The 3-book collection with like the movie thing on it. We kept the plastic on, but it's got the 3 books in it. And it tells you the 3 in the back. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Scary Stories 3, More Tales to Chill Your Bones. So, definitely need to take a look at this. I thought this was a pretty cool find, but does not top the next find that she had, which is this really cool old hardcover edition of Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. This thing looks classic. I mean, it's old. It's an old book club edition. I don't remember what the year was on it, but I think it was the 50s or 40s or something like that. Yeah, 1967. Jeez. Yeah, this is an old edition. So, definitely was a really cool find. This is a book I did read, and I believe I gave it 4.5 or 5 stars. I think it was 5. Yeah, there you have Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. Alright, the last 2 books that we're going to show you guys we got from Barnes & Noble. And the first one is The Damnation Game by Clive Barker. I read Hellbound Heart, which is a very good book. It's also very short. I gave it 5 stars. I definitely need to reread it. But this book, don't know anything about it, but it's a really cool looking cover, and it's by a pretty famous author. So, figured we'd get it, and it's actually a pretty good price too. So, yeah, The Damnation Game by Clive Barker. And then, the last one that we found, I figured we should get it because it's a fantasy book, and Danielle had said that this is one of the big fantasy trilogies that there is, so I decided to get it. And that is The Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. So, it's a very, very thick book, obviously because it's all 3 of them. Again, fantasy is a genre that I would like to dip into. Tried Wheel of Time. Feel like that might have been too big for me to grasp too soon. So, if you have any recommendations of something maybe not as large, let me know in the comments. Maybe something like this. I don't know. But yes, any comments would be helpful. But yeah, so decided to get this, just because why not? I've seen it there a bunch of times, and Danielle said that it was a pretty big series. So, there you have The Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. Alright, so that is the April book haul. Again, we had a lot of new releases. We had a lot of just stuff that we found. There was some stuff that we did not put in here. I got some other editions of some Goosebumps books that I needed. But obviously with those videos coming out, we eventually are going to film a part 2 where I show you Series 2000 and the other ones. But yeah, part 2 we eventually are going to have come out. We don't know when. But we definitely are going to be filming a lot over the next few days, so be ready for some content rolling out. So, yeah. What are some books you got in April that you're excited for? Make sure you let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Later.